Hey squad, welcome back to Unbiased Magic Reviews. Today I have a requested magic review for you. We're going to be taking a look at a card merely thought of by Molim El Barch.
There's also 100% the letter E inside, and it's 100% at the end.
Yes.
You just said N.
Yeah.
Say the word in your mind. That was very clear.
Okay.
I think you said 8 of clubs.
Yeah.
I am Molim El Barch. With a card merely thought of, you have a unique, ungimmicked, easy to do and hard-hitting mind-reading routine that you're probably gonna use for the rest of your life. Whether your spectators are looking at the fan of cards and chose a card only in their mind, or if they take the deck, shuffle themselves and take a card themselves while you're facing away and not even touching the deck, you will be able to read their mind. Welcome to a card merely thought of.
All right, so you guys took a look at part of the trailer, and I'm gonna leave the full uncut performance from the trailer at the end of this review. If you haven't gathered already, this is a two-phase card divination routine where in the first phase you fan out a deck of cards, your spectator thinks of a card that they see, you read their mind, you offer to repeat it, you give them the deck, you turn your back, they shuffle the cards as much as they want to, they cut to whatever card they want to, and the second time you read their mind even quicker than the first time. Now, the card plot of a card merely thought of has been extensively studied. There are countless versions out there. You can learn versions that are very sleight heavy, like Die Vernon's Out of Sight, Out of Mind, all the way to versions that don't even use a deck of cards and are completely propless. The nice thing here is that this version is a very nice happy medium because you are using a deck of cards, but a lot of this feels very propless. The nice thing is that the cards are regular cards, there are no gaffes in play, the setup is minimal, and the reset is actually pretty quick overall. So you can pick up this effect for $20 from, I think it's called wondersandmysteries.com, and I will leave a link in the description above. You're gonna get an instructional video that's about an hour and 10 minutes long where you're gonna see two full uncut performances, and then Molim El Barch goes over the instruction with you in detail for the rest of the video. Now, he has videotaped this himself, and I think he did a really good job. The instruction is very clear, it's super easy to understand, and at the end of the video, he actually goes over ways to expand the routine if you're interested to do that. He also gives you some PDF files, both in English and in German, just to aid in the learning process. So this routine can be performed both in the English language and in the German language if you speak German. So that's something that you may be interested in. What are my initial impressions of the routine after learning it and performing it for the past 2 weeks? I'll tell you guys, I really like it a lot. I think that the price is right at $20. I think that the routine is very convincing. It's very easy to perform, and I really liked it a lot. I got great reactions from my spectators. So I'm gonna answer some questions that you probably have about this. Is this what I thought it was? Pretty much, yeah. Just when you watch the uncut performance, you're gonna have a good idea of the method involved, although I will tell you that there's a lot more to it than just what you're seeing there. The second phase of the routine is very diabolical because there's a whole nother element at play, which definitely hides the actual overall method because of that, which is really nice. The good thing here is that if you want to perform this over video chat, you could do the first part of the routine over video chat. The second part you can't do because your spectator can't touch the cards. But overall, I'll tell you guys that it is pretty much what I thought it was. So that really leads into the next question, which is, how difficult is the effect to learn and even to perform? So it took me about 45 minutes to learn the routine. There's a very small amount of memory involved. If you can memorize a phone number, then you can learn this routine. With like an hour or two, you'll be flying with this. I think one afternoon of practice and you'd be ready to go out and perform it. Like similar like other routines, you have to memorize kind of like a script, kind of like a flow chart, and you'll get that impression just from watching the performance. The nice thing here is that unlike some other similar routines, here you're gonna know what card they're thinking of with just one miss, pretty much. So no matter what, you're only gonna ever get like one miss and you're gonna know exactly what card they're thinking of, which is really nice for the most part, because that means that it really is gonna feel like real mind reading overall. Now, in terms of the actual performing of the effect, I'd say it's overall pretty beginner level because there's no sleight of hand involved. The only real difficult thing is being able to stick to the script and to actually perform it convincingly. So if you are into mentalism and you do anything similar to this, then it should come natural to you. Of course, it is dependent on your ability to be able to remember, you know, that flow chart that you have to remember, that script. You have to be able to remember that. And I'll tell you that this is a lot easier to learn than some other type of routines that are similar out there that have extensive procedure and script involved. So this is something you're going to learn relatively quickly. And I do agree with what Molim says in his trailer, where he says you're going to learn this and probably perform it for the rest of your life because it's that good and the reactions are amazing that you're going to get from this. So the next question you're going to probably have is how extensive is the setup, and is there a way to perform this impromptu? So the setup overall is pretty minimal. And I myself have figured out a way of performing this literally almost impromptu from my own, while using my own deck of cards. So I've come up with a way that I can perform his routine impromptu, and that I take out a deck of cards, I can do a couple other routines, I can shuffle the cards as much as I want, and then I can go into this routine. In fact, I'm gonna share my ideas with Molim and see what he thinks about it. Maybe he'll include my ideas in like as an addendum to his download, because I've come up with a way of getting into this impromptu, and literally it really is convincing to the people that I've performed it for. But as it is now, there's a very minimal setup involved. Next question is this: has this been done before? As I mentioned before, that the overall method of this is well known, and you will get that just from watching the full uncut performance. But there are aspects here that he's added that are also, you know, there's a method involved in the second phase that is well known in magic, but not applied in this way to this type of routine. So another big question is, how does this compare with other think a card routines out there that exist? And I'm going to just touch on a few of those for you guys, okay? Some people may not like some of this that I tell you, because some of these routines you may like a lot, but this is just a quick comparison to other think a card routines that exist out there. So I'll tell you, there is less procedure, less script to memorize when you compare this to Michael Murray's Isolation. Now, Michael Murray's Isolation routine is a propless thought of card routine where the spectator can think of any card and then you read their mind. The big difference is that Michael Murray's book is going to cost you $60. This is going to cost you $20. And in Michael Murray's routine, there's extensive procedure involved. In fact, the one thing that I really didn't like about it was that when you first start the routine, you go down this process where you have them think of something, and then when they get to a certain point, you tell them, okay, well, that was just a warm-up. Now we're ready to start. And for a lot of spectators that I've had, for them, they don't have a large attention span, and so you really have to have a spectator that really has a lot of buy-in, that's going to sit there and go through all of that with you. On top of that, you have to dedicate a lot of your time memorizing the script and learning the routine if you want to learn Michael Murray's propless routine. Some of you probably like it a lot and will swear by it, and that's fine. But if you're looking for a version that is easier to learn, more in the realm of, you know, something that you can just add to your repertoire, that's reliable, that you're not going to forget in another 2 weeks from now, I would recommend you just stick to this routine. Another routine that we can compare it to is Joseph Barry's Reverie. Now, Joseph Barry's Reverie feels a lot like this routine, where you hand the spectator a deck of cards, you let them go through it, and they think of any card they want, and then you read their mind. The actual overall method feels the same. The really big difference is that this routine has less setup than Joseph Barry's Reverie. Joseph Barry's Reverie uses a full deck setup. So that's a big difference. And in Joseph Barry's Reverie, you're actually going to get more negative answers when you go through it, when you compare it to Molim El Barch's routine. You're only going to ever get one negative. So that's really the comparison there. If we compare A Card Merely Thought Of with John Bannon's Outer Limits from his book Smoke and Mirrors, again, it's another card merely thought of routine that feels similar, because in John Bannon's routine, you have the spectator cut off some cards, they shuffle them, they look at the cards and they memorize one, and then you read their mind. The big difference is that in John Bannon's routine, the actual amount of cards they have to select from is highly limited. It's actually more restricted than in this version. And again, in the Bannon routine, you're going to get 2 negative answers compared to this one where you're only going to get 1. So there is that trade-off there. You know, you have to think about what would you want. So I will tell you guys, I think that Molim El Barch's routine is superior to John Bannon's routine for all of those reasons that I have mentioned. And finally, if we want to compare this routine with R. Paul Wilson's Out of Your Mind, which is based on Di Vernon's Out of Sight, Out of Mind routine, obviously R. Paul Wilson's routine has more sleight of hand involved. So you could see that we can compare it to all these different Think a Card routines, and they all have their pluses and minuses. What are the real negative aspects of this routine is that, of course, it's operator dependent. So even though you're going to get 100% hit, it really does depend a lot on your ability to perform, your ability to remember, you know, to keep with the script, your ability to fan out the cards. With a little bit of practice, then you should always be able to perform this without any difficulties. I think though that the price is really good for what you're getting here. I definitely would recommend this to you guys, and I think that really it's a steal. You should pick it up. I think you're gonna really like it a lot. I've had a lot of positive reactions in the past 2 weeks when I've used it. And like I've said, a big difference of this routine compared to other ones is that the most amount of negative answers you're going to get is 1. It's going to look like real mind reading. It's going to look like there's no sleight of hand, because there really is no sleight of hand. And you're just using a regular deck of cards, so you can go into it and do whatever other routines you want to afterwards. So definitely something you should think about. As always, if you guys have any questions or comments about this routine or anything else that I review, please just leave me a comment below. I'm going to leave you guys now with a full uncut performance from Molim El Barch. And thanks so much, guys, for tuning into my review. I'll see you on the next one.
Hi, Anastasia. Thank you for participating.
Okay, yes, and you're welcome.
Perfect. I want you to have a quick look through the cards and make sure no cards are repeating itself, or no cards are twice in there. All 52 cards are in there.
Yeah, sure.
If you want, you can have a look at the back sides.
Ah, yeah, it's okay.
Thanks. In the second, I'm gonna fan the cards in front of your ace like this. Then I want you to look at the cards, to choose one. I'm gonna shuffle them. I want you to look through the cards and choose one only in your mind. Don't point at it. Don't tell me which one you're thinking of, anything, nothing like that. And I'll try to read your mind then.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay? Perfect. I'm gonna spread the cards in front of your ace like this. and I want you to only look at one. Do you have one?
Yes.
Perfect. Okay. You know what would be amazing?
What?
If I told you right away that you chose the Ace of Hearts.
No, not really.
No, it wasn't. I just said it would be amazing if
Yeah.
I would do that, but I need you to do me a favor and think of the card in a way so that I be able to read your mind. One possibility would be if you think of the words that your card is
Yeah.
having. For example, Ace of Hearts, you now think of your word, but imagine the letters would be written in air
Yeah.
in between us.
Yeah.
Now think of the first word only. For example, if you have chosen Ace of Hearts, the first word would be Ace. Now do this with your card.
Okay. Now I should imagine. Yeah.
Yeah, imagine the first word of your card.
Yeah.
There's an E inside, right? The letter E. I saw that there's an E.
Yeah.
Somewhere at the end.
No, not really.
Okay, let's do it that way. The picture was not that clear. Can you do it another way? I think that works better for us. Say the word in your mind.
Okay.
And now say the complete card in your mind.
Okay.
Again.
Okay. Now.
Yeah.
Okay. Try.
Ah, that was very clear.
Okay.
I think you said 8 of clubs.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. Thanks.
Whoa.
Wait, we have another try, okay? Because after we did this, I thought, why did I not let you shuffle the cards
Okay.
and pick one card yourself? That would be a little bit better, I guess. So please take them,
Yeah.
shuffle them in a way you like. Must not look fancy, just shuffle them a little bit.
And then I can take a look in the cards.
And then you place them on the table and you cut and you take one. Just shuffle them.
Okay. Okay. And now?
On the table, cut one time somewhere,
Ah, yeah.
and take the first card and have a look at it.
Yeah.
Now place the rest of the cards on top again,
And
that's it.
okay.
That's it. So now we do it a little bit different. Your card has the color. It's either red or dark
Yeah.
black. Try to see the color on my hand. Oh, perfect. It's 100% the red card. Now I want you to think of the first word again
Yeah.
from this name.
Yeah.
Oh, perfect. There's also 100% the letter E inside and it's 100% at the end.
Yes.
What I was not sure about is there also the letter N in? Oh, I saw something like M, but I'm not...
In the first word.
Let's do it that way. Say the complete name of the card again, like before, and the other card in your mind, and repeat it over and over again. Very clear, thank you. Ace of Diamonds.
Yeah. Whoa.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.